Hello everyone, this is Odin303. I'm here on Tekkit Classic, my town of Midgaria. Continue on in the rich district, or the fancy district I'd like to call it. And you can see I'm in the town square, right behind my fanciful waterfall there. My fountain. I'll take a look around here. And I'm going to start with the hotel over here. And if you like the texture pack, it's Isabella too. You should definitely check it out. And this is my fancy hotel. Just mainly it's birch wood and birch. Then I use kind of the trimming around it is the basalt brick, cutting the bricks that you can use the handsaw or the hacksaw to cut up the blocks into smaller kind of like trim pieces or cover plates and stuff like that. Then I used marble bricking as the entranceway, matching it with the basalt bricks. You can see there's a bunch of people having fun over here, opening doors and shutting them. But inside, use marble flooring and basalt bricks on the sides and the birch wood. Then I used to kind of break up the birch wood with oak wood. And you can see inside I used wiring to wire up all the lights around the area and kind of hide them all with just flat pieces of wood. You can place them in the same block as the wood, the wire. So it's really fun. You can, ooh, that was creepy sounding. You can hide the wire and everything, so you don't have to see wires running everywhere, and it looks more professional that way. Oops, excuse me, over there. But the outside here, I used, kind of like the bushes, and then your leaves as bushes, and I used birch wood, all the support beams, and all the support beams. And then up here, I used white wool mixed with the basalt bricks, cutting the strips, kind of made a pattern out of it all. And I made a window up top here. Overall, kind of wanted to make a different structure, but kind of keep the same elements as all the structures around it. The backside here, kind of same thing, kind of made a pattern, the basalt bricks and wool. Then I have my logo again, right in the backside here. And the backside, just people having fun, enjoying the day, coming around, and that's the hotel. The rest of the inside is pretty much plain and basic. You can see inside, not much to it. Eventually I'll go back to change all that. And coming over here, you can see a golem just standing or floating in midair for no apparent reason. Oop. Now he's really floating. Look at that. Oh, anyway. Over here, I have a little sitting area, which I probably showed in the last video, but kind of want to show it again. Over here is the workshops. That's the metal workshop that I used accent pieces of cutting up metal strips and kind of make a different pattern. And I wanted to make it different from all the other structures. I wanted to stand out. And so I just used the iron pillars, different sizes, kind of made a cross because you can overlap the center parts, the pillars, over each other. So you can actually make crosses and actually different fences out of it if you want to. And the overall structure on the outside is very different from everything else. I wanted to be very strong and then stand out from everything else. I used basic stone and the marble stone. Just made a flat pattern and kind of looked at different kind of structures that I saw online and kind of came up with this kind of idea for it. The inside is also very plain, just kind of matched it with the marble bricks and the stone bricks, and then the windows I used memory flop there. Iron bars with iron pillars and the iron won't match the windows and everything. And then here's the stone slabs. I kind of stacked them up to break up the whole, just the stone and the marble, trying to give it a different look outside and kind of different all around, just like the rest of the building. Over here is the wood shop. It did the same idea as the metal shop or the iron work. Kind of broke it up with the wood pillars and different sizes, kind of give it a visually different look. And then over here I wanted to have like a, the bright color for the wood and then the softer or the blue bright color for the iron. So kind of made up a different pattern using different kind of sizes of the strips and everything, kind of make an interesting pattern that mirrored that same pattern over here for the wood shop. The inside is the same thing. Oh, there. Same thing as the iron shop. I use the pillars for the wood and the windows, and then there's like a little storeroom, which obviously chicken has decided to. Oops, took your egg. I'll put it back for you. Yeah. Anyway, guys, just chilling out, waiting for all the machine work to come in. They're just wasting time. Anyway, then over here I just made a little storage room. Figured, if they're working on stuff, they can store access supplies back there. And overall, just kind of very square, but interesting looking. I didn't want it to be too plain, but I didn't want too much to go on outside, except for the front there. I wanted that to catch people's attention. And I had a little garden on the side with the leaves as a bush, as hedging. And then coming around back on the, you see more little garden that the guy's just trampling all over. Jerk. And back here is a power hub, which kind of runs a lot of the, runs power to, I hear a zombie. Runs power to a lot of the rich district. And over here you can see the road to the lighthouse and the lighthouse itself. And it just turns on the power to that. And then same over here is the central area, which is the fountain and everything. You can just turn it on and off, and there's power to the inside. Turn on and off. See? Now it's off. Now it's on. And same thing as the jacketed wire. Up there is the stone, and I did the same idea with the wood that you've seen probably in earlier videos. Someone left me some stuff. What? Must have been my friend on. Anyway. Then I used the wireless transmitter here for the hotel, so I can actually power the whole supply to the building with this wireless one that sends a signal, and it matches that. See the number 1, that one's number 2 for the poor market. This one's the, so then the receiver has the same matching number, so it's really, really good if you have a long distance to go and you don't want to dig through the ground, spend all that time trying to run wire all the way to a place. The wireless one is actually very interesting, and you can also kind of hide it if you need to, and so you don't have to worry about all that crazy wiring. And we'll go over to the lighthouse. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. That thing with light shooting out of it to help people not crash into it. Here's the bridge to the lighthouse. I just mainly use stone, and again the wood fencing as a decorative piece, and also the railing. I used it to kind of add a little support and break up the whole just stone, plain stone, and I use quarter blocks to kind of give it a better arch instead of that whole blocky plain look if you just leave it just the blocks and not using the half blocks to break it up. Hello there. Here's the archway coming over. See, as we walk through, kind of just mainly it's decorative, and then down here is again more lights wired up to the central hub. And here's my lighthouse. Used stone block and marble block, and the half blocks to kind of give it a support, and finally, oh, a piece missing there. Support all the way around it. And then I wanted a wide base, to give it visual like weight and its stability. Then up top, kind of give it another support underneath it to hold up the slab that's powering the holding up the lighthouse and the power system inside. And there's, kind of use different ideas, half blocks and blocks, and kind of, I wish there was there is a way to wire up a rotating light all the way around, but I didn't have enough space after I built the tower, but it's a good idea for later. Drop all of it down. Whee! Okay. And down here is I powered it all using, again, the jacketed wire with the wood covers, and kind of made offshoots and all the way up. It can be lit all the way up, so in the middle of the night it won't be too dark. As you're trying to go all the way up to the middle of the tower, and here's the power switch here. I should hide that a little bit better, but just kind of give you an idea of how you can run these wires. See, in the lighthouse, inside the light for the lighthouse is wired like this all the way around, and you can see how the wire can be placed in all directions inside there. So you're not just limited to the wire taking up only one spot in the block that you're in. As the sunset, so pretty. Anyway, and there's the moon. The moon. Fortunately, I made this a little too tight and I can't fly out of here. Anyway. Keep people locked in. Go down. Whee. I'm just gonna fall. Watch. Anyway. Yeah. Oh. Sorry about that. Looks kind of pretty at night. Anyway. Make it day, make it easier to see. But over here is the fishing village. I wanted to make it very basic, very bare bones, open air to the buildings, because there's the catching fish, there's wind blowing, very nice, but very nice wind. So I figured open air, very nice. If I can say nice a few more times, I can. But mainly, I wanted to keep in mind is using the fencing as the main concept of detail on these structures. And this is the wooden poles to give it a breakup from just the plain old wood fencing and give it another little accent pieces. I wanted to make, all the main houses have these little coves where they can park their boats and then they can go upstairs. And, they would live up here and everything. And then basically the main idea was building the houses on stilts. It's all over the water. Again, there's another different type. They can park the boat there and they can do, all their fish prep down here, and then they can come around here and then go up the stairs and feed their family or whatever, feed the dogs, cats with it, whatever it is, the animals. I used logs to kind of, how you see docks with these big strong logs to hold up the docking, and so I kind of kept that in mind. Here's a big port so they can do trade and other sorts of, big fish boats or whatever it is that they plan on doing. And then I wanted each house to be kind of unique in its own, so I can use different types of wood, from spruce wood to oak wood, but I didn't want to go too far into the birch because the birch looks very nice and very rich. So I didn't want it to seem like this is very rich. I wanted it to be run down, and this is a fishing village. It's used instead of meant to look very nice. And then this would be their little town hall where they have their meetings of talk about the season and their plans for next year. Just wanted to make it a little bit nicer than the rest, so I added a lot of accent pieces with the fencing, kind of give it a structure in the middles here. Everything's held up by the wooden oak posts, and kind of made a border all the way around with the logs, and then using spruce wood as the trimming around the side. Overall, actually, this is one of my favorite looking structures. It was really fun to build and really fun to come up with the concept of having a standing house, a house on posts. Then we'll go over to here, which is the barracks, and I wanted the barracks to be strong, kind of dark, kind of scary, kind of put fear in the villagers not to do crimes, and this is where you're going to end up. But here is the loading dock for the whole place, for the barracks. Kind of just really small, just simple supplies, little dock a ship, and then they can go off and not have to stay too long. And then inside, kind of bare right now, but wanted to show these, which is the fixtures. And I wanted a very different look from the rest of the other fixtures around town. And I kind of wanted to also go along with the theme of the building. So I was stuck with the basalt wood around the actual fixtures themselves, and there's wire around all through the building that turn on all these lights. And we'll go upstairs. Hello. And there's a little window here so they can see who's coming in or what's going on outside, and if they're being invaded they can attack through here. I use the wood post as another kind of like an accent piece, but also a structural piece too, so it feels like it's holding up part of the window here. And over here is the walkway. You can see this is where the main wall of the village is, and also, or town. Where's the village? I don't know, you tell me if it's a village or town to you all. Anyway. But over here is another peephole, our window, kind of give it structure and accent pieces with the wood. they're being invaded, you can see what's going on. And then over here is the top part of the roof of the barracks, and you can get a wall access. The wall themselves, I used the metal posts and cut up the blocks into smaller ones so you can make accent pieces, supports, and all kinds of different things. So I wanted to keep it very gray, very one solid color. To me, it's not a piece that needs to be too fancy or looked upon. This is, especially on this side, which is the poor district, which I'll show you in another video. But I wanted to be very plain and simple. So I went with this, but on this side, I wanted to add a little bit of flair so people on this side would see it and not be, it won't so look too out of place, too plain. So then I just use a wood post, and you can see if you're using wood post in Tekkit Classic, sir, I'm trying to do a video. Could you move? I don't even know how you got here. How did you get up here? Go. Never mind. Anyway, ignore him. Just don't look at him. He'll go away. But as you can see, the post on a solid block would actually make a post downward, but then over non-solid blocks like stairs and everything of that nature, it'll just make a straight bar all the way across to, if there's another block, it would post down to that at the end of it. Because if not, it'll kind of just float. It'll look kind of like this, and it doesn't look too good. So if you're ever using this, that's the problem. If you ever come across this, that's the problem. Again, kind of matching the inside of the barracks, but also keeping it a little bit different. I added just these little alcoves for it to hold up the lanterns, the lights. And for the wall, I just added a little fencing here to kind of give it a gate. So, if they're being invaded, they can drop the gate and people can't get in. But back to the barracks, I don't want to get too far away from there. Hello. On the sides here, on each side of the building, I put the light recessed inside, but I also wanted to make it decorative. I didn't want it just to be a plain light, so I added the basalts and kind of cut them in blocks and kind of just made a decorative pattern all the way around. And crenellations, I did the same thing. I didn't want just a plain block crenellation. I wanted to add accent pieces to it and make it stand out. So I did that all the way around, even on this side, even up top here. And then very top here, go down. Excuse me, I'm trying to get through. Look, there's not enough room. Anyway, now we're back to where we were. See, over there is where the dock was. That's the exit to the outside. Excuse me. Thank you. This is the inside of the barracks. This is going to be where the sleeping quarters are going to be. You know me, I tend not to finish the interiors, but I will. I will get to that. It's on my list. Don't bug me. Anyway, down here is the prison section, where all bad villagers go. Then over here is just say bad things happen when they have to be placed here. That kind of bad things. We won't talk about it. Nobody talks about that. But anyway, here's the gate that goes to where all the cells are, and I use sticky pistons to create an opening gate just by throwing the switch. Voila, now it's open. Redstone's a fun thing to play with. And here each is all cell. One were really dingy, nasty looking, and using the mossy bricks. I can't think. With cracked bricks, kind of make a dirty, nasty feel. People get treated horribly. And over here is the main switch for all the doors. Opens all the doors if let the people out, and I use this gate closing and go out. And if they need to be moved around, they need to be taken to the bad place. They'll be placed there. And then the guards himself. Are you trying to get in a cell? I mean, I can help you with that. Hold on. Here, let me help you. Get in. Your head's spinning around. It's scaring me. Get in there. You want to get in there. Get in there. You won't go in. There you go. Now stay there. Goodbye. Anyway, but yeah, that's the prison. Oh, right. You want to go in there? Look, I can't accompany everybody in putting, whenever you want to go to prison or whatever. Okay, you go do a crime. Okay, jeez, people. Anyway. But that's the barracks and the prison. One of my favorite. I had fun building the prison. I don't know why. It's because it's dark and scary and it was fun to build. Different from what else, everything else out here, what I was doing. Change the day. Boop. And I'll go over to here. My last stop of the rich district would be the cafe. This I wanted to do experimental. I wanted it completely different from everything else. I wanted to be totally like noticeable from afar and just different all around. And so I used mainly the whole place is made out of wool, cutting up to slabs and smaller pieces to give it an accent, make accent pieces all the way around, kind of different on every angle. Kind of gives it its own little flair. And inside, I definitely wanted to make the floor stand out the most, so I lit up the whole entire floor. And you see all the... I don't think you need that many employees. Why is there so many people working in the cafe? Jeez. Anyway, so... Oh, got a customer. Excuse me. You can't stay... Man, what is wrong with these people? They want to go to prison. Now they're standing on stuff. Jeez. And then he leaves. Good job. Anyway. So, just use quarter blocks and slabs to make chairs and, really flat ones to make tables. Along with the counter here. And then I also did it with the stairs. You have a different look, completely different from everything else. I wish you could do the doors. I wish you can color the doors. Someone needs to make a mod of that. Different doors. Different color doors. Same thing with the floor, did the lights. I hit all the wiring along the wall. Luckily, the space was big enough for me to actually run the wire along the wall and light up this middle section. Then out here, the balcony, I did again, playing around with the different styles that you can do with the just really thinly cut pieces of block. Kind of made a balcony so people can hang out, drink their coffee or cappuccino and kind of enjoy the outside if they don't want to be inside. Whee! Never get anything done with that many employees bumping into each other. Anyway, but that was the Rich District, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it gave you some new ideas and help you along with your building. I'll see y'all next time. I'll cover the Poor District. You should definitely check that one out, and hope you have a good day. Goodbye!